Good morning and welcome. Appreciate everyone being here this morning. My name is Carol Post. I am the Administrator for Development and Economic Opportunity for the City of Tampa. We'd like to welcome everyone to Tampa's Convention Center here this morning. Appreciate the time to be here. We have a brief announcement, but an important one about the Convention Center, both its short-term future and certainly its long-term future. Before I jump in, I'd just like to recognize a few folks that are here with us this morning, starting with our Councilman Joe Citro. Thank you for being here. We have many members of our Convention Center team under the leadership of Una Garvey, who is here, and everything positive that happens in this space comes under Una's incredible leadership. We will be joined this morning as well by Santiago Corrado, our CEO and President of Visit Tampa Bay, who will be speaking briefly, and representatives from Skanska, Brian Yarber, who is our project executive for this project, who will offer more details about it. And of course, Mayor Castor, who I will turn the mic over to in just a moment. I do want to just give everybody a sense of what's happening here today. We have a couple of announcements about what to anticipate in the future, but to take a pause for just a moment and recognize that if you, as you drove here or walked here, or maybe you biked here, as we encourage all modes of transportation, the downtown corridor is exploding, and particularly around Channelside, the new hotels, the new buildings and facilities. As our city is growing, we need our convention center to grow with it and to keep pace and to grow not just in capacity, but in certainly in today's environment in safety and in sustainability. And these are all things that are paramount to ensuring that we can continue to attract world-class events, world-class activities to help drive the economic engine, not just of the city of Tampa, but of the entire region. And the Convention Center is a pivotal part of that formula. So with this morning's announcement, we'll be talking about some short-term successes that we've achieved over the work that's been done this spring and summer, and those things that will help us really get back on our feet, and also some long-term plans that will be made that will help us stay on our feet for the long term. It's important to note that there has been a great deal of activity done here during the shutdown period, if you will, done in safe ways and responsible ways. But a convention center, and typically ours is sort of a 24/7, 365 operation, and it can be difficult to do maintenance and routine operations. The shutdown, if there is any silver lining, afforded us an opportunity to really do some integral maintenance, some repairs, and some upgrades. And again, crediting Una Garvey, Brian Hunter, and members of her team that have done incredible work during the COVID shutdown period to take advantage of that time and make some incremental improvements here. As we look ahead, we'll be continuing to do those in a longer term, and you'll hear details about that in the morning, in just a few moments. And I guess ultimately our objective here is to ensure that this does remain one of the city's most valuable assets, and it continues to drive the economic engine that the city has and will have. I think what you see around us with the development, the growth, and all of the activities, I mean, with the lightning, the rays, the Super Bowl on our horizon, there is a great deal of optimism in our city, and this can be a key focal point for that. So with that, and I think it's a good segue to lead into the person that really makes all of that happen and that leads us with a spirit of optimism, is Mayor Jane Castor.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning, everyone. This is an incredibly exciting day today. And I want to start by also recognizing my good friend Joe Citro, and really a member of the what I like to see, especially during these times we're enjoying right now, a sports analogy, a part of the political team that is really moving Tampa forward. So thank you for your partnership. Una Garvey's just doing an amazing job here at the Convention Center, and really, as Carol indicated, you know, as the pandemic has really shut things down in many communities around the United States, the response from Una and her team to do everything that is needed here at the convention center. I also want to point out that with the shutdown, and almost overnight, that communities were closed down, and clearly we are a destination for the entire nation for conventions. We have the best convention center in the United States, right on the water. But there was an overnight shutdown with that. And the way that Una and her team dealt with it, we're able to keep 80% of those conventions have booked for a safer time in the near future. And so for us to be able to seize that opportunity and to have built those relationships, I believe is a tribute to the entire team. And speaking of the entire team, it's not just the city of Tampa, it is the entire Tampa Bay area. And talking about Visit Tampa Bay and Santiago, the county working hand in hand with them, with the EDC, with the Sports Commission, with all of the different groups that come together in concert to attract these events to our community. We are incredibly lucky. As was stated, we have the Super Bowl, we had the one-of-a-kind Stanley Cup celebration and a boat parade. I'd love for any community to try to top that. Unfortunately, although they gave it an incredible run, we're going to have to hoist that World Series trophy next year. But I participated in the pitch for an NCAA event, the Women's Final Four. And we pitched as a community for several of those events. We pitched for the Frozen Four, the hockey playoff, pitched for a series of first and second rounds of the men's NCAA basketball playoffs, and also the women's final volleyball playoff. And we were hopeful that we would get a couple of those. We received all 4 of those. People want to come to Tampa Bay because it is our slice of paradise here. And this convention center, as Carol said, is really a focal point. But we've somewhat outgrown our ability to host some of these conventions, some of these conferences, and some of these events. And so with the development in the downtown area, if you just look at Water Street, that's over $3 billion worth of development in that area. Ybor City, we had a presentation on the vision, the future vision for Ybor City. Our downtown is a vibrant core, which is necessary for any successful city. So we, as a convention center, have to grow as well. So we have this particular expansion project, which you'll hear more details from Brian Yarber, who is our partner from Skanska. And you'll hear the particular details, but it is going to allow us to move up to that next level in hosting events from across the nation. In addition, we're looking at, through those partnerships, meeting space that will, again, allow us to expand on the size conferences that we will be able to host here in the city of Tampa with the JW Marriott and the meeting space that they're adding, and a number of other private partners that will allow us to continue to grow as our city grows and be that location that the entire nation wants to come and visit. So I am so proud of the team, proud of Una and her team, also proud of this convention center. 30 years old, which just happens to be right around the age that Santiago and I are right now. I'll say 30 and holding, a lot. But anyway, for 30 years old, we were one of just a very few convention centers that have received gold standard awards in our cleanliness, the sterilization. We're always tops in ratings for the conventions that come here, the visitors that come here. So very proud of what we've done with the convention center, and then very excited about the future of it. We are going to be the best convention center in the United States, and I couldn't be more proud of the team.
We're very proud to announce that the Tampa Convention Center received its Gbac certification. It is the first large facility in the state of Florida to receive that. We are now fully certified for safety, sanitizing, and other related aspects for this, and we think this will be an enormous way and opportunity for us to assure those world-class events and organizers and activities to come here and to feel safe that we have taken every precaution necessary to make those events meet needs and expectations. So I'm very proud to, I'd ask the mayor to join me. We can present this to Una on behalf of Gbac. And with that, we know that while we are ready for tomorrow's events, we need to be ready for the events that are yet to be even seen on our horizon, as the mayor alluded to, ensuring that we build this facility out to meet our long-term future needs. We have a plan in place, we have a program ready to commence, and we have partners to help get us there. And with that, I'd like to turn over to Brian Yarber, who is the project executive from Skanska. He'll provide some details about what to expect for our long-term improvement planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Carol, for inviting us to be here this morning. But most importantly, thank you to the City of Tampa for entrusting us with such a grand project. Skanska and Baker Barrios have a long history in the City of Tampa and are honored to have the support of our community. In just the last few years, we've been involved in some of the major projects of this community, most recently completing the USF Morsani College of Medicine and Heart Institute just a few blocks away as part of the Water Street development. We've also had the privilege of working on Tampa Museum of Art, Curtis Hickson Park, Kiley Gardens, and the Julian B. Lane Riverfront Park. Our design build team, comprised entirely of local firms, anticipates officially starting construction just after the first of the year and can't wait to get started. You know, the Convention Center has been a crown jewel in this community since it first opened in 1990 and often serves as a first impression for many of downtown Tampa. So we want to make sure that when we talk about the expansion, we honor that original design and only work to complement it. One of the really fascinating things about our team is that we have some of the original team members from that project on our staff. The project architect, the structural engineer, and the mechanical engineer were all part of that original project. We're all residents of Tampa Bay in this community, and so we use the Riverwalk, and we appreciate its importance. And so we're already looking at options for engineered structured pathways that would allow the use of that Riverwalk during the expansion along the waterfront, because we know what a key element it is for this community. You know, we look forward to working closely with Una and Brian and Juan, who's here, and the rest of the Convention Center staff to ensure that those events that the mayor and Santiago are bringing to the city can continue to operate seamlessly while under construction. We'll strive to reach and exceed those workforce diversity goals during the construction of the project by maximizing opportunities across all trades. We want to also ensure that we are supporting the mayor's workforce development program, working with our trade partners to not only ensure that we're hiring local craft employees, but that we're implementing training programs to not just support this job, but future careers in construction. So we hope to deliver a project worthy of the surrounding community. I want to say thank you again on behalf of Skanska for giving us this opportunity. And with that, welcome Santiago Carrata, President and CEO of Visit Tampa Bay.
Well, good morning, and the shortest person has to be the briefest, so I will be the briefest. When you think about what these proactive actions and measures mean to us, you know, during normal times, the competition is fierce to bring conventions and big events to our community. And when you think of coming out of the pandemic, how hyper-competitive it will be, because people out there are very hungry to bring conventions and big events to their communities. These announcements are huge. They're hugely important to bringing back this piece of the tourism picture that is still missing for us, and a part of that economy that's still missing for us. When you talk about the certification and how that elevates consumer confidence, people want to feel safe coming into a facility. People want to feel that their health needs are being taken care of. The certification assures that. One of just a few around the country that have risen to that benchmark. And then the work that Skanska will be doing here for us to market and sell. Adam DePere on our team, who's here, knows how very difficult and competitive it is for us to sell Tampa against every other major destination in the country. When you think about competing against Los Angeles or New York or Atlanta or Chicago or Las Vegas, those are the folks we compete with to bring these large-scale conventions and events to Tampa, Hillsborough County. So on behalf of our tourism industry, Mayor and Carol and the team here at the Convention Center, Skanska, we couldn't be happier, because we have great assets to sell and to competitively and aggressively compete with the rest of the country. And so today's announcements mean that our future is incredibly bright when it comes to conventions, large-scale events, and us being one of the greatest hosts in the country, if not the world. We're on a different playing field these days. We are not a second-tier or lower-tier city out there competing. We are competing with the big cities, and we have to have those assets that compete aggressively. So again, thank you to our mayor, our city council, all of those that have come together to make today's announcements a reality. From the hearts of tourism, we couldn't be more grateful. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you, Santiago. So he may be the shortest here on stage, but he has the best shoes. Check out those cowboy boots. I love them. So again, appreciate everyone being here. We are happy to take questions. Brian Yarber can certainly field some details. I would invite Una and Brian Hunter as well from our current facility leadership to take any questions. What we're looking at for our future build out is expansion of this facility in several ways, around expansion of our ballroom space, meeting room space, and first and foremost is building out closer to and really engaging the riverfront and making sure that we maximize the opportunity that our location has. Doing all of that at the same time as respecting current operations and current uses that are going on around us. So those are some of the key aspects of our project. So I'll conclude there and happy to take any questions.